the honor of calling up the Honorable Judge, Honorable Brian Beck, who has been 19 years a judge here in Ventura County, and the last 8 or 9 in juvenile court. So I'm sure he's seen a lot, and I'll use the Yiddish term. I heard he's a mensch, which means a gentleman, probably a scholar as well. So we invite him to say a few words. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me here. Let me cut to the end of the story. So I sit in the juvenile delinquency court. It hasn't been the last 8 years. I sat in there for 6 years, from roughly 2000 to 2006. The last 2 years I've been in the juvenile delinquency court. Here's how juvenile court works. There's 2 courts, juvenile dependency court, juvenile delinquency court. Juvenile dependency court sees abused, neglected, abandoned children. Those are the articles we read about in the newspaper, and we get to about the second paragraph and we say, how could anybody treat this child this way? That's where foster parents come in. That's the juvenile dependency court. I sit in the juvenile delinquency court. The kids I see are alleged to have committed crimes. So it's a criminal court. By statute, it's called a civil court, but I see kids who are alleged to have committed crimes, everything from shoplifting to murder. And I have all of those cases pending in front of me right now. I love my assignment because, and the reason I love my assignment is it's going to relate to what I'm going to talk about from marijuana, because that brain is still malleable to the age kids I see before it gets locked and loaded on something that is unfortunate from the pathway they have taken. So here's what I tell the kids. Yes?
Can you talk a little louder, Judge?
No. Oh, yes, I will. Here's what I tell the kids, and I'll talk about some details, but I'm going to give you the end result right now. Here's what I tell the kids on marijuana. I'll make you a deal. You get to be age 25, 26, you do anything you want with marijuana. Until then, don't do it. Not because I say so. It's because if you do it, you're going to be too stupid when you're 25 or 26 to know that you shouldn't have done it in the meantime. That's the deal I'd cut with every kid. Now, disclaimers. I'm aware of the initiatives. I'm aware of the appropriate use of marijuana in the medical situation. I'm aware of the legalization. I'm not commenting on any of that. What I'm also aware of is what I see on a daily basis in my court. I'm not a scientist. I went to law school. But I listen to epidemiologists and to physicians and to scientists who educate the judges as to what's going on with things such as marijuana. I'm usually pretty light in court because, you know, we're just humans. We should be able to confer with each other and have light moments. I find it difficult, though, to joke or about this topic. The only thing I could think of was I was trying to get a hold of Reefer Madness to show you, but I couldn't get a hold of the copy. And so nobody in here except somebody my age even knows what Reefer Madness is. But I'd like to see it again because I think there might be some truth to it, particularly since now the marijuana that's available is at least 300% more potently impactful than what grandparents or your parents' marijuana was. So this is what I believe, and this is what I tell the kids. I believe that every one of us was put on this earth to do the right thing, to make sure that we are taking care of not just ourselves, but primarily the people around us, because that's how we end up taking care of ourselves also. And here's what I tell the kids with regard to drugs. Now I see methamphetamine, I see cocaine, I see Xanax, I see Rohypnol, I see spice, synthetic marijuana is so dangerous, probably more dangerous than what the plant is. And the plant, as we know, is tetrahydrocannabinol, THC. That's the garbage in marijuana. Now, I don't mean to impose those beliefs that I have with regard to marijuana on all of you, but I think it's worth it for you to know what's going on with marijuana. I didn't bring copies. If you're gonna write anything down tonight, what you need to download is go on the Ventura County Behavioral Health Alcohol and Drug Program website. Download a document that is entitled What the Science Says About Adolescent Use of Cannabis. okay? And what you will see are some frightening statistics. Some of the statistics the rabbi indicated already with regard to what the use is in terms of at different age levels. 101% of the kids I see have an alcohol or drug problem. Of that 101%, and you kids know that 101% is a little bit more than 100%, and I make that statement intentionally to make the point. But of that 101%, probably 80% of them include marijuana in their mix. If there was, you kids don't know what prohibition is. Prohibition was a law in the 30s and 40s which prohibited the use of alcohol in the United States, and then it was undone by a constitutional amendment. When I sit in my court, or in the adult criminal court, I sometimes wish that prohibition was in place.